At my father's anniversary party, I was put in charge of the grill. That's all you can do, so don't let me down. When I sat down, he gave me a look of disdain. Are you done? Then get out, I don't want to see you at the table. Everyone laughed. My brother threw in, yeah, don't get in the way of enjoying the view. Mom sighed tiredly, just don't start that again. I didn't argue, you'll regret it. I left. 2 years later, an unexpected denouement. Now calls, tears, voicemails at 3 a.m. Do something, we beg you. I'm not really sure why I'm writing this here. Maybe it's just to get it out of my system, or maybe part of me hopes someone out there will read it and understand. Either way, I need to say it because it's been clawing at the back of my head for weeks. I'm not the kind of guy who lets family drama eat me alive. Most of the time, I let stuff slide. I shrug, move on, figure whatever, it's not worth the headache. But this one hit different. My name's Max. I'm 27. I work a quiet tech job, keep to myself for the most part, and yeah, maybe I've always been the quieter one in the family. My older brother, Roman, he's 30, is the opposite. Loud, confident, always had that golden boy shine about him. He just bought a house, first one in the family to do it, and ever since he closed, it's like he thinks he leveled up past the rest of us. Every group chat, every family dinner, he's dropping comments about responsibility and real adulting like we're all just kids playing house. I'm used to Roman acting like he runs the show. That part isn't new. What stings is how my parents, especially my mom, eat it up like gospel. She's always favored him. That's not bitterness talking, that's just fact. I've spent my whole life being compared to him. Why can't you be more like Roman? Or Roman wouldn't do that. I used to think maybe I imagined it, maybe I was too sensitive. But at some point, you stop pretending the knife in your back is a hug. So when Roman bought his house, I figured, okay, good for him. He did something big. I even shot him a quick congrats over text. He hearted it. That was it. A couple weeks later, I'm scrolling Instagram and see Roman's girlfriend post one of those cringy new chapter stories, grill out, red Solo cups, backyard lights, the whole deal. I don't think much of it until I notice my cousin Bella in the comments, can't wait for Saturday. And suddenly my stomach drops. Saturday? There's been no text, no call, no invite. Not in the family group chat, not from Roman, not from my mom. Nothing. I scroll back through my messages, triple-check the calendar like I missed something obvious. But no, I'm not losing it. I was never invited. It's not like I was expecting a hand-delivered letter or anything. But a heads up? Hey, we're having people over? That's basic courtesy. And this wasn't just some casual barbecue. It was a full-blown housewarming. Everyone was going. I texted Roman, hey, heard you're having people over Saturday. You doing a housewarming thing? No response. Tried my mom, any plans this weekend? She replied, oh, just something small for close friends. Right? I guess I've been downgraded to acquaintance. I told myself it didn't matter. That I didn't even want to go. That it's just another reminder of how I never really fit in with them. But the thing about lies is they only work when you stop thinking. And I couldn't stop thinking. Couldn't stop picturing them all out there, laughing, talking like I didn't exist. When Saturday came, I tried to act like it was just another weekend. Cleaned the apartment. Did laundry. Watched some show on Netflix I wasn't really paying attention to. But around 6 p.m. I cracked. I needed to see it. Not crash it, not cause a scene. Just see. I got in my car and drove across town. Parked a few houses down so no one would notice. Walked by real casual like I was just out for a stroll. There it was. Music pumping. Smoke from the grill curling over the fence. Laughter loud enough to echo. I saw my Uncle Rob waving tongs at someone, my dad tossing beanbags in a game of cornhole, Bella holding a drink and chatting up Roman like nothing had changed. Like I was never part of it. I stood there, just outside the property line, watching like it was a scene from a movie. My family, alive and vibrant, while I watched from the dark like a ghost. And I don't know what made me do it, but I pulled out my phone and called Roman. He picked up on the second ring. No hello. No pause. Just, why would we invite you? That hit me like a good punch. Then, over the phone, clear as day, I heard my mom's voice in the background. This house isn't for mistakes like him. I didn't speak. I couldn't. I just stood there, phone pressed to my ear, hearing them laugh like I was the punchline to a joke. My face went hot. My hands were shaking. I said, say less. I won't forget this. And I'll make sure you don't either. Then I hung up. That was the moment something inside me snapped. I stood there for another minute, watching the backyard like it was a movie I didn't get cast in. I could hear someone turning up the music, laughter echoing louder, clinking glasses. No one noticed me. No one cared. I was halfway to my car when I heard the side gate creak open. I turned just enough to see Roman stepping out with a couple of his friends, drinks in hand, all laughing about something. One of them, Corey, maybe did a double take and said, "Hey, isn't that Max?" Roman looked right at me, then looked away. Just kept walking. That broke something in me. I called out, "Really? You can't even look me in the eye now." He stopped, sighed like I was ruining his night. "Don't start, Max, don't make a scene." I took a step closer. "Or what? You gonna call the cops on your own brother?" He squared up like he wanted to throw something at me, but instead he just gave me that smug smirk and said, "Go home." Then shoved me, not hard, just enough. So I shoved him back. "Don't touch me again." Roman stared for a second like he was deciding whether I was worth it. Then he turned and slammed the gate. Nobody from the party turned their head. Nobody even looked over except Bella. She gave me a soft, uncomfortable wave, then turned and walked inside. I sat in my car after that, just watching the light glow from the backyard. I texted my mom, "You could have just told me you didn't want me there." She left me on read. I called my dad. He answered, sighed, and said, "Don't make a scene," before hanging up. And that's when I opened my notes app and started writing. Every time I'd been left out. Every time I'd fixed something and got no thanks. Every time I was made to feel like I didn't belong. I didn't know what I was going to do with the list, but I knew I needed it. Because this time I wasn't going to just let it slide. After that night, things changed. Not overnight, not in some dramatic movie-style transformation, but piece by piece, like pulling threads from a sweater until there's nothing left but a mess. I didn't tell anyone what I was doing. I didn't post some cryptic quote or announce a new chapter. I just stopped. Stopped picking up the phone when they called. Stopped replying to texts that always came with a favor attached. Stopped showing up when something needed fixing. It was subtle at first. Easy. When Roman texted me asking if I could help with his internet because something's weird with the router, I ignored it. When my mom called about the washing machine acting up, I sent it to voicemail. My dad left a short message, "Your mom's worried. You should come by." I didn't. And the weird thing? It felt good. Not triumphant. Not righteous. Just quiet. Peaceful. I didn't realize how much noise they created in my life until I turned the volume down. I think what shocked me the most was how fast they noticed. For years, I'd been the guy who did the errands no one wanted. Tech issues? Max'll fix it. Someone forgot to pick up Grandpa's meds? Max'll drive across town. Roman can't figure out how to hang a shelf? Max, come by on Sunday. I never really said no because saying no felt like asking for a fight. And honestly, it was easier to just keep the peace. But now? Now I was done being the one who kept the peace by sacrificing mine. The first real reaction came from my mom. She called 3 times in one afternoon. The 4th time, I picked up. "What's going on with you?" she asked. "You're being distant." "I'm just busy," I said, which wasn't a lie. I was busy reclaiming my sanity. "Well, your brother said you ignored him." "I did." "Why?" "He needs help." "I don't work for him," I said. "He can figure it out." There was a pause. Then, with that same clip tone I've known my whole life, she said, "I guess you're too good for us now." I didn't even argue. I just said, "Maybe," and hung up. Then came the guilt texts. Roman asking what my problem was. My mom sending me long messages about family being everything. My dad playing neutral as usual, saying he didn't want to pick sides but maybe I should talk to them. I ignored most of it. The real test came at my dad's birthday. Usually I'm the one who sets up everything at chairs, food, decorations. This time I showed up late. No contributions. No errands. Just walked in, sat at the edge of the table, and watched the room. Roman barely looked at me. My mom asked, "Didn't you bring the drinks?" "I never said I would," I replied. "Maybe ask Roman." The air in the room shifted after that. Everyone felt it. No one said it out loud, but it was there, humming in the background like feedback from a broken speaker. After that day, they started being careful. My mom sent fewer messages. Roman only texted when he was desperate. My dad called once and said, "You seemed off at the party." "I'm not off," I told him. "I'm just done." I think what really made it real for them was when I left the family group chat on mute. Not left entirely, just silenced it. No more potato salad debates or forwards from Aunt Mel about the weather. No more, "Max, can you pick this up?" or "Max, can you check the garage light?" Just quiet. And slowly, they started unraveling. 2 weeks in, Roman called me pissed off. Something about the TV in his spare room not working before a game night. I told him, "I'm not your personal IT department." He hung up. My mom texted me later that night, "You're making everything harder than it needs to be." I wrote back, "You made it harder the day you decided I didn't matter." No reply. It wasn't about revenge. It was about letting them feel what I'd felt for years, taken for granted. Dismissed. Used when needed and ignored the rest of the time. And they felt it. The little things started piling up. The basement leak got worse. Roman's sound system was still busted from the housewarming party. My mom's car needed service, but she couldn't get anyone to look at it. Every time they turned around, the person who used to just make it work, me, wasn't there. And I wasn't planning to be. I'd built a life around being useful because it was the only way I knew to feel valued. But when that usefulness wasn't enough to even earn an invitation to my own brother's party, I realized it was never respect, it was convenience. So I pulled back. And as they scrambled, for the first time in my life, I watched from the outside. They were finally seeing what life was like without their backup plan. And that was only the beginning. By the time the third week rolled around, the silence between me and my family had turned from a cold shoulder into a chasm. I wasn't just absent, I was invisible. But the difference now was I chose it. That choice started making waves. Little ones at first, then bigger. Like the cracks that show up in drywall after years of settling, my family started showing signs of stress where I used to be holding things together. It started with my mom. The leak in the basement she tried to brush off? It got worse. She texted me a picture, water pooling near the laundry area, with the caption, "See what happens when you ignore your mother." I left it on read. Roman wasn't doing much better. Apparently after his big housewarming night, he tried to fix the busted sound system himself and ended up shorting something in the wiring. I heard about it through a mutual friend who sent me a video of Roman swearing at his backyard lights that were flickering like a bad horror movie. I won't lie, I laughed. These were people who acted like I was deadweight. Like I was extra baggage. But the second I stopped carrying their load, they were tripping over it. And I hadn't even started pushing yet. That week, I made a list. Not like the one I'd written in anger right after the party. This one was practical. A breakdown of every single thing I'd ever done for them that made their lives smoother. I set up Roman's home network, handled Mom's email recovery a dozen times, paid for cloud storage that backed up family photos no one else ever managed, even helped Dad figure out his tax software every year. Small things, but constant. Invisible maintenance. And I realized I could undo a lot of that. Not out of spite. Just to give them a taste of independence. Because apparently they needed the lesson. So I started unsubscribing from all the services I was paying for. I didn't touch their accounts or lock them out. I just stopped being the one who handled it. The next domain renewal for Roman's little gaming blog? I texted him, "Heads up, I'm not covering the cost this year." He sent back a wall of emojis and passive-aggressive one-liners. I blocked him. Then came the email. My mom called, furious because she couldn't reset her email password. Turns out the backup phone number was mine. "Can you just help me get in?" she asked. "This is ridiculous." "You might want to talk to your favorite child," I said. Then hung up. That night, Roman posted a long Instagram story about fake loyalty and people who can't handle real family. I watched the whole thing in silence, sipping tea. My dad, as usual, tried to mediate. He called and said, "I don't get why you're dragging this out. You're making everything harder." "I'm not dragging anything," I replied. "I just stopped doing all the work no one else wanted to do." He didn't know how to answer that. The financial side started biting too. Roman had always used me as a backup for things like his car insurance or the occasional late payment on his credit card. I never agreed to it formally, but somehow I'd always end up covering him in a crunch. Not anymore. One of his auto payments bounced. My mom texted me, "You let your brother's account overdraft?" I replied, "He's an adult." She didn't answer. Then things got physical. I was walking home from work when Roman pulled up next to me. He got out of his car, angry, twitchy. "What's your deal, Max?" he said. "Do you just want us to fail?" "No," I said. "I want you to realize how much I've done for you." He rolled his eyes. "This is about the stupid party?" I didn't answer. "You're such a drama queen," he spat. Then shoved me, not hard, but enough to make a point. I shoved him back, harder. "Touch me again, and I swear to God, I'll press charges." That shut him up. He stormed off, muttering curses under his breath. After that, the group chat exploded. My mom posted something vague about some people only care about themselves. My aunt chimed in, saying maybe the family needed to look inward. Roman lost it and said, "Don't blame me, blame Max. He's always been jealous." I didn't respond. I just left the group. The fallout was fast. My mom's car broke down and she called me in tears. I let it ring. Roman's next game night was a disaster. His speakers didn't work, the food came late, half the guests left early. My dad started texting me passive-aggressive messages like, "You could have fixed this." I didn't reply. Then came the guilt calls. Voicemails at 1 a.m. "Why are you doing this to us? Please come help. We need you." I let every one of them go to voicemail. At some point, my cousin Bella texted, "Are you okay?" Everyone's freaking out. I told her, "I'm fine. They're just seeing what life's like without me." She replied, "You broke them." I said no. They broke themselves. I just stopped covering it up. And it was true. I wasn't being vindictive. I wasn't slashing tires or airing dirty laundry online. I just walked away. And for the first time, I watched them all struggle under the weight I'd carried for years. Roman's fence project stalled. My mom's church group couldn't meet at her house because the basement smelled like mildew. My dad started disappearing for hours at a time, hiding at the local coffee shop or out fishing just to escape the stress. And me? I was finally breathing. I went to work, came home, made dinner, watched shows I'd missed. No frantic phone calls, no late-night errands, no guilt trips. Just space. And it felt like freedom. But the funny thing about space is, once you have it, you start to wonder why you ever let anyone take it from you. They were crumbling. And I was just getting started. The breaking point didn't come with a bang, it came with a voicemail. It was around 3:15 a.m. when my phone buzzed. I was already half awake, scrolling through nonsense on my screen, avoiding sleep like it was some kind of punishment. I saw the caller ID Mom and let it go to voicemail as usual. But for some reason, I played the message. It started with her crying. Real, full-on sobbing, the kind that used to shake me when I was a kid. Then came the words through sniffles and gasps. "Please, Max. Just talk to us. We didn't mean to hurt you. We didn't know how much you did. Please tell us how to fix this." And then, silence. That was the moment I realized it wasn't just inconvenience anymore. It was collapse. They were unraveling. Roman texted me the next morning, all caps. "You win. Happy now?" Then another. "Just tell me what you want." I didn't respond. I didn't feel victorious. I didn't feel smug. I felt tired. Like I'd been carrying a weight for years I didn't even notice until I set it down. I started thinking, what did I want? I didn't want revenge. I didn't want a dramatic apology. I didn't want them crying at my feet. I wanted them to feel it. Not a little. Not for a week. But fully. I wanted them to understand what it meant to be used, erased, minimized. I wanted them to live in it. Drown in the vacuum I left behind. Not because I hated them, but because it was the only way they'd ever learn. So I kept going. Roman had this fence in the backyard, some ridiculous privacy oasis project he wouldn't shut up about. When he built it, I helped him measure, and I told him the lines looked off. He ignored me, said he knew what he was doing. Well, he didn't. The fence crossed the property line by about a foot. HOA stuff is public, so I printed out the survey, circled the issue, and anonymously dropped it in their mailbox. A week later, Roman's freaking out in the group chat. Someone complained to the HOA, and now he's being threatened with fines unless he tears it down or moves it back. He called me 3 times that day. I didn't answer. Meanwhile, my mom still couldn't access her online stuff. I'd helped her set up everything: email, social logins, even her dumb online Bible group. I'd used my number as the backup. When she tried to reset her password, it pinged my phone. She called again, sobbing. "Can't you just help me reset it? I need it for my group." I said, "You told me I was a mistake. Maybe ask your other son." She hung up. Then came my dad. He actually came by in person. Knocked on my door like we were neighbors, not blood. When I opened it, he stood there with this tired look on his face, holding a grocery bag like that was supposed to mean something. "Let's just talk," he said. I stepped outside but didn't invite him in. "You're taking this too far, Max." "I'm not taking it far enough." He sighed. "You're part of this family whether you like it or not. Not the way you've treated me." He tried to walk past me into my place. I blocked him with my arm. "I'm not doing this," I said. He left, muttering that I was acting like a child. Maybe. Or maybe I was finally acting like someone who'd had enough. The next week, Roman's bank account overdraft again. He used to rely on my reminder texts and occasional bailouts. This time, no warning. No coverage. He called me at midnight, voice shaking. "Dude, seriously, I can't deal with this. The fence. The bank. Mom's losing it. What do you want from me?" "You said nobody wanted me around," I said. "So now you got what you wanted." He cursed and hung up. They tried getting to me through friends. Roman messaged my old roommate. My mom left voicemails for my neighbor. My dad tried calling my ex. All blocked. All ignored. Then came the last gasp. My aunt texted me. You should come to Sunday dinner. Try again. They're all a mess. I said. They made their choice. She replied with a thumbs up. Nothing more. I watched them flail. I watched them try to fix things they never learned to fix, face responsibilities they always dumped on me. I didn't lift a finger. And they felt it. Roman's party circle shrank. His HOA problem turned into legal threats. My mom's car stayed dead for weeks. My dad started going fishing more, probably just to get away from the tension. And me? I got my time back. I slept better. Ate better. Started running again. Cleaned my apartment. Watched movies in silence, no vibrating phone, no guilt. I started feeling like a whole person instead of a patch kit. Then one night, I wrote it all down. Everything I'd done. Every time I showed up when they didn't. Every task. Every sacrifice. I wasn't planning to show it to anyone. It was for me. To prove I wasn't crazy. That the load I carried was real. They still call. Still text. But I don't answer anymore. Not because I'm cruel. Because I finally know what I'm worth. And I'm not a backup plan. Not anymore.